Hi, and welcome back into the FloHockey studio. I'm here with NHL draft prospect Václav Nestrašil, and your season with Muskegon Lumberjacks. It's been a fun one to watch, and it's been kind of like a little bit of a whirlwind here in these last couple weeks with the playoffs and everything coming up. You guys are heading to the Clark Cup final this week, and first game's on Friday. Just for anyone who's watching, today's Monday. There's 4 days before the game. Just how are you feeling heading into this?
We're feeling great. I mean, we had a kind of long break now, so I think we have to mentally reset and get into it. But yeah, we had back-to-back sweeps. We're feeling it right now, and we're confident going into the finals.
You had to describe the feeling kind of with one word. I mean, I think you might have just said it, confident. But if you had to describe this feeling heading into, possibly winning a championship, what would it be?
Uh, yeah, I would say probably confident, or I would say like a family, because we're a really good group that is going throughout the whole season together. So one of those two words.
I also have to ask, a couple weeks ago, not even a couple weeks ago, a week and a half ago, you went for a Michigan goal. Is that something that you kind of been working on and working into?
It's actually part of my pregame ritual. I always scored like three Michigans during our warm up, but it was kind of like I was feeling in that time. I was 5-1 already, so I was like, I mean, let's go for it. And I had the puck. I was looking for a play first. Then I saw like basically nobody behind the net, so I was like, let's try it. And unfortunately, it didn't work out, but I was kind of close.
I mean, it was right there. So, I mean, we might see another one. You have a couple more opportunities coming up. What do you think your reaction would have been had it gone in, or if you get one maybe in this series?
Oh, I would definitely give it to the fans, especially well, it wasn't Dubuque, so I would definitely give it to them. But now in Waterloo, they would hear about it.
Uh, just kind of on that note, what's it been like playing in front of the fans in Muskegon?
It's good. Yeah, they're supporting us a lot. They kind of play with us. They're kind of like a sixth guy on ice with us, and it's great support. We appreciate them a lot.
And just kind of again going throughout this whole season as you kind of gone in through your draft year, what has that development been like for you? Like if you look back at your first game this season to now, what is that growth?
It, it's been like exponential. Like it's so good. And I think it's everything combined together from me working towards that goal and everybody around me helping me, especially Muskie and the facilities, the coaching staff, the guys around me. They're just great and everything's good and everything's kind of helping me, but obviously everybody else in our team. So it's been pretty good.
Do you have kind of a favorite memory or something that stands out from this year?
Uh, I would say probably the last game against Dubuque, getting that Clark Cup Finals entry. That was a great feeling.
What is that feeling going to be like? I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but what would that feeling be like if you guys win this cup and you get to raise it and it's just all of that hard work is paid off?
Uh, uh well, we gotta see, but it would be. I'm pretty sure it would be like a once in a lifetime feeling, and I think that's what everybody's working towards to eventually getting that feeling and lifting the cup with the boys and celebrating. So hopefully it happens, and yeah, then I can talk more about it.
Who's going to be your first call?
Well, my parents are here, so I'm probably gonna talk to them first, and that kind of answers it because I would call my parents first if they weren't here. So probably them.
Okay, who's going to be more excited, you or them?
Probably them, actually. I would say. I mean, I'm gonna be pretty pumped, but they've been living with me and they've been hyping it so much. So probably them.
And with this series coming up, I have to ask you, you can say yourself, who do you think it's the first goal?
Mm, that's a good. I don't want to say myself. I would like to, but that's a good question. I would say. I mean, let's go for it. I'm gonna say David Klee, my line mate.
Okay, all right. So you're getting an assist on it?
Hopefully.
All right, I like it. Get that scoring going. Just kind of on that note, if you had to pick a teammate to watch in this Clark Cup final, who would you say people need to keep their eye on?
Tyler Lawrence, definitely. Such a great kid and insane hockey player.
Okay, and then getting back to it because I mean we've seen all of you play all year long, and it's been fantastic to watch. You guys have had some incredible stretches. But if you had to like promote yourself to someone or maybe to a scout who has never seen you play, but they're just asking you, like, what do you bring to a game? What would you say?
Oh yeah, obviously a big guy. I would say I'm 6'6" now, so yeah, that's probably my biggest part. The first thing everybody sees around about me. I would say I'm a guy who can kill PKs, but also score on power play, so kind of two-way ish. I can play physical hockey and I can make plays, so something like that.
And then for you, what do you think is an underrated part of your game?
I don't know if there's anything that's underrated about me. If there's something, I mean, there's things that are not great, but um, I don't really know.
I mean, still good, but it's something that people just wouldn't expect. They're like, "Oh, I didn't see that from you." Like,
I kind of guess the playmaking part because usually huge guys are more physical and it's kind of a stereotype of them not being skillful or making good plays. So I think probably that when somebody sees me for the first time, they can be like, "Oh, this guy can make plays."
I will have to say, I was watching a few podcasts and kind of going around, and a lot of people are talking about you as like a bigger guy who's got skills, but isn't afraid to kind of get physical and kind of get into that part of the game. What would your kind of view on that be? Like, I mean, you can say it's 50-50, but which side do you think that you've kind of put the work into where you're like, no, but you need to watch this?
I mean, I'm definitely working on the physical side because it was never part of my game. I wasn't always a big guy. I was always like middle of the pack. So I was always more towards that skill guy, kind of. And I started playing physical hockey or trying to play it this year. I'm glad my coaches said it to me and kind of helped me push it. So I'm definitely working on physical game more.
How you said, I mean, you said you haven't always been a bigger guy. When you started growing, how did you kind of adapt your game also just throughout that growth? Because I know it's probably not easy to just kind of change everything all at once.
Yeah, it was hard. I'm still kind of growing into my body, and it's gonna take a few years, obviously. But I think it's all kind of getting together now, and I can see it. So hopefully, it's gonna be completed in a few years. So it's still not fully finished for sure.
You've had some time for sure, I think, and you still have. I mean, people are going to be watching you, especially with this team in college. You've got a few eyes, and it's going to be fun. But with this draft coming up, what's something that you're kind of maybe wanting to show off a little bit more? Maybe not even on the ice, but just any part of like if you had to tell someone, look at this, what would it be?
Well, obviously my hockey, but I think there's been a lot of seeing to that. I don't really know how to answer that question, to be honest. I would like to see and tell people and kind of prove it to them that I'm a nice guy, hopefully. I mean, I think that's the most important thing in life, being a nice guy, not being a guy who people can talk to and trust them. So maybe off ice, something like that.
And then if you had to pick a teammate that you can play with for like the next 5 years, who would it be?
Tyler Lawrence, probably.
All right. Do you think he'd say you?
Uh, I don't know, but I hope so.
Hopefully, hopefully.
Yeah.
We're gonna say yes. Um, so just going back to the season so far, if you had to pick one word just looking back now instead of forward, what would wrap it all up for you?
One game?
One word.
Oh, one word.
Or one game if you want, if there's a game that
No.
stands out where you're like, this was it. This was us putting it all together.
I mean, for team perspective, I would say game 3 against Cedar Rapids in playoffs. It was a win or go home game, and I think some people are kind of nervous about it because we were expected to win that series, and now it was 1-1 last game, and we showed in the first period. In basically 10 minutes, we ended the game, and that was kind of the first time I saw the team, and I was like, "Oh, we can go far." So that was probably the first point when I realized like this is actually going to go far.
Do you guys have like a saying? Because I know a lot of teams kind of throughout the year build up towards that playoff and get like a saying going in the room.
We kind of we have a few mottos or a few things we say. I think the most important saying we use is "own your role," and I think that's kind of a playoff saying because not everybody's a top six guy, and not everybody's gonna have 15 points in playoffs. But I think it's important to realize that everybody has a certain role, and if everybody's doing it good, we eventually go as far as possible. So I would say probably that.
Okay. And then for you, walk me through what a game day looks like from morning to after the game.
So and home games it's always the same, all basically all year long. I wake up, we drive through the rink. I get on the ice for like 10-15 minutes, feel the ice. Then we always go to Chipotle with one of my teammates.
Like it.
Then I go, yeah, he drives me home because I don't have a car, so it's kind of hard for me. So, yeah, then he drops me off usually at like 12. I have like a 90-minute nap. I always order, so I get food when I wake up. I eat, I watch some YouTube, get to the rink, and that's a different routine from then on.
I like it. Also, the preparedness. You're aware and you're like, okay, when I wake up, I want to have things ready to go.
Yeah.
I have to ask too, what's your Chipotle order?
White rice, chicken, corn, sour cream, and guac all year long.
Okay. Uh, Going from that, are you a caffeine drinker, or is it just nap, good to go?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's the go-to?
Probably Red Bull.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
I
like
kind of
it.
like that. I like it, but I know it's not really good, so I'm trying to get away from it. But it's a process.
Have you done just like the black coffee?
Not really, but I know some guys do before games, so
Yeah.
I've seen that, but I haven't tried it.
Okay. I don't know. If you like Red Bull, I don't black coffee might be like really bitter. So
Mm.
who knows? I am a fan of black coffee, but it's definitely I don't think it's everybody at all.
For sure.
Okay, just kind of going throughout your whole career, what's been your best hockey memory so far?
Uh, well, probably PV Quebec U13 year, and I think that's a memory I'm never gonna forget. We won that tournament, and it was kind of the first time I played in a big arena in front of thousands of people. So I would say that.
I've heard that a few times from a few guys where that tournament's just like the first moment of like,
Yeah,
wow, this
yeah.
could be a big thing. What was that tournament like for you? Like when you walked in and you're just like, there's so many people.
It was weird because I was never used to that, and even the facilities in Quebec are just NHL like levels. So seeing all of it and then going to the final game and seeing I don't know how many thousands of people there. I was definitely nervous a bit, but after all, I enjoyed it. So I think that's a memory I'm never gonna forget.
Okay, and just to think of another memory that you might not forget. I mean, yeah, the Clark Cup for sure would be a memory that you're never gonna forget, but also later on this summer, maybe hearing your name at the draft. What would that be like for you to just be like, I did it?
That would be obviously incredible, and I hope it happens. And yeah, it would just be a feeling. I don't think I'm gonna even realize it's real for a few moments. So
Until you get to
yeah,
like, right?
yeah, but it's definitely a goal I was kind of always working towards too, and I didn't even thought it could happen at some point in my life, but now it's closer and it can actually happen. So I'm kind of looking towards it. Yeah.
Is it something that you've been thinking out throughout the year, or is it just I'm playing my game, or is it, hey, maybe there's a little extra. This year's kind of different.
I mean, it was something obvious. I was looking at it, but I was also trying to distance myself kind of from it, from those thoughts, and kind of just work on my game, like getting better every day. So I would lie if I say I didn't think about it, but also I was trying kind of to distance myself from it.
I do have to ask, did you check like the rankings at all throughout the year, or is that like too far? Is it like I can't look?
I do. I'm kind of like a hockey nerd and stats, especially. So I am checking those rankings, and I'm checking kind of guys around me. I'm comparing them to myself and kind of seeing what they do better or what they good at. Kind of comparing myself, actually learning too. So yeah, I am checking.
Does that help drive you too, where you like see it and you're like, oh, I'm almost there. I can beat you. Like I can get up there.
Yeah, obviously, when you see a guy who's in the first round and you play against him that week, it's obviously a kind of motivator for me. So yeah, it kind of helps me, I would say.
Like it. Okay, going throughout this entire year and that experience of, seeing where everyone is, knowing what's going on, when it comes draft day, are you kind of like when you're around that area, are you going to be like listening in a little bit harder and just being like, this is where I am?
Probably, definitely, I would say so. Yeah.
If you had to tell people, like, if you know where you are, if you had to tell the people making the rankings, like, hey, this is why you should put me up a little higher, what would you say to them?
Uh, I mean, everybody's their opinion, and I want to change it. I'm trying to change it by playing hockey and kind of proving them wrong. That's my part of telling them like, hey, wake up. This is like
I
I
mean, a
better be.
championship would do a lot.
Oh yeah, but as I said, I'm kind of trying to get away from it, and especially now in playoffs, my only goal is to win the Clark Cup. So I'm kind of glad I can get away from the draft and think about Clark Cup more, and so that's good for me for sure.
Okay, my last three questions for you. How did you start in hockey? Like, why did you get into this?
Because I saw my brothers playing, and yeah, I think I played hockey ever since I could walk, basically. And I know my parents especially didn't want me to play hockey because they had a few kids that played hockey, and it wasn't going well for them by that time. So I know my dad was not necessarily happy when he saw me banging walls in our apartment and loving hockey more than anything else. So it was basically ever since I could walk.
Okay. I was gonna ask also, did your brother ever like give you or your brothers ever give you some like tips and be like, hey, this is how you should do this, or like, hey, no, stop that.
Oh yeah, they've been helping me a lot, especially one of my brothers that used to play NHL, and he went kind of the same path. He went through Canadians junior, and so he's been helping me the most right now. Not even hockey side of things, but mentally and kind of how to get around all of that. So he's been helping me a lot, especially this year. Yeah.
Okay. And then what's the best advice someone has given you, whether it's hockey or just mental or just like life? What's something that kind of stuck with you as like that helped?
Uh, Damn, I don't know if I have anything.
Okay.
There's yeah, I don't think I can think of anything right now.
What would you tell someone else?
Uh, well, actually, that kind of somebody definitely said it to me. Don't look at anybody else. I would say to younger people, especially because everybody's path is different and everybody's gonna eventually make it in life somewhere in something. It doesn't necessarily have to be hockey. So I definitely heard from my dad or from somebody like, hey, don't look at anybody else. Like when I was 15 and there were guys better than me, don't look at them. Like you may eventually caught up. So yeah, focus on yourself, work on your game every day, probably something like that.
I mean, it's true. Comparing yourself to other people kind of just gets in your own head, but okay, last one for me finally. And it's a weird one. It has nothing to do with hockey. but I ask every player this. If you were a fruit, what fruit would you be and why?
That's a damn good question. I love it, but I would say I don't know why, but I would say strawberry. Like I like strawberries, and yeah, I think probably that. I don't have an explanation for that though.
It kind of matches the vibe.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, perfect. Well, Václav, I really appreciate you talking to me today. I know like you guys are busy heading out to Waterloo, and it's gonna be a big series, and I can't wait to watch it.